My name is Ikem Promise. I'm a sophomore at the Nigeria Maritime University, Okrenkoko, here in Delta State, Nigeria. I'm presently studying marine environment and pollution control. I want to talk about my PGC journey and my climate action project. My PGC journey was a very tremendous one, and it was one perfect path that only few can understand its impact. My PGC journey changed my life for the better, and I love to tell my stories with pictures. But I want to let you all know that the most tremendous days of this journey were the days we talked about food and the ocean. I'm a foodie though, but let's move on to the pictures. This first picture of a well-cultivated land of regenerative agriculture shows and tells a lot I learned during the course of this journey, and which will help me in my climate action project, which includes soil conservation, which helps produce fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and natural foods for healthy human consumption. It also relates to the reduction of carbon footprints by absorbing carbons in our atmosphere. This picture also relates to social injustice being suffered by the society of Black, Indigenous, and people of colors on their inaccessibility to flotsam foods. It also relates to sustainable development, environmental justice, climate justice, and so much more I learned during this journey. Moving over to this second picture I took on the day we talked about adventure. On this day, I went outside my comfort zone into the external environment to get in touch with Mother Nature by observing my environment and taking photos of plants, animals, insects, and marine environments. By the way, I'm in school and you can see me on my uniform, and as a way of support, my community and my school are helping me to achieve my dream. And so I got in touch with Mother Nature, which gave me a firm stance in the fight for climate justice. And this is what gave up to the rise of my climate action project and motivated me to achieving this. And my climate action project centers on the eradication of fossil fuels and plastics from the Niger Delta waterways. I want to let you all know that the Niger Delta region is located at the south-south region of Nigeria. It's been known for its abundance of crude oil and natural gas. Therefore, the federal government explores and exploits this region as for its source of foreign exchange and revenue. But I want to also let you all know the sufferings the people pass through from the photos I took around the communities of the waterways around my campus community. This is the marine environment. You can see that the water is being polluted, and so is the soil. Therefore, organisms are scarce at this region. The fishes have to migrate from this region to safer places so that they can live and be away from the effects of fossil fuels in the Niger Delta region. Moreover, we can see gas that are being fled by oil firms in this region, therefore causing greenhouse effect, which causes climate change and affects we humans indirectly and our ecosystem directly. You can see the picture was taken by I in Nigeria this month. And then moving over to, this is the oil that have been spilled by sabotage, such as vandalism, pipe vandalism by locals of this region, and oil firms too. We can see the amount of oil that are being spilled into our marine environment, and the environment suffers it, and we, the inhabitants, suffers it indirectly. Moreover, these are plastics generated by communities around the waterways of Niger Delta region, and some plastics also are being carried by waves of oceans from other places around the world to this region. You can see it's mixed up with fossil fuels, and we can also see dying mangroves. Mangroves are dying because of the crude oil that are being spilled and deforestation. And when this happens, the mangroves die and carbon sequestration doesn't take place, and there are more carbons left in our atmosphere, which affects us and our environment. So I came up with a solution to this issue, knowing the fact that governments are completely aware of this fossil fuel pollution and excessive generation of plastics. Environmental awareness cannot be overemphasized. So on my climate action project, I intend to do the following as a flag bearer with the help of sponsors funding, which includes to continue the awareness through a campaign where I will not only involve locals of my campus community, but also the general public through radio stations, print and electronic medias, and also reach out to local and international non-governmental organizations which focus on environmental conservation, stressing on the effects of fossil fuels and plastics in the Niger Delta waterways, because the effects of this pollution cannot only be localized, but affects the world in general. Secondly, in the area of reduction of plastics, I intend to provide collection bins and receptacles where plastics will be collected and sent to recycling industries. And this will help rethink plastic, reduce, recycle, and reuse them so that they don't get into our marine environment and they don't affect us and our ecosystem. And thirdly, I would want to encourage the use of green fuel and the use of eco-friendly technologies and renewable energy through the installation of solar panels in my school so as to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. With this, I believe that plastics and fossil fuels would, if cannot be eradicated, but would be reduced to its minimum bearing in the Niger Delta waterways. And basically, we should all remember, I want to remind you that my project is centered on three things: awareness, receptacles to help reduce plastics, and renewable energy and solar panels to help encourage renewable energy. I developed this passion knowing the fact that I've spent most of my life in the Niger Delta region, where growing up in River State and schooling presently in Delta State, both located at the Niger Delta region. And I developed my passion knowing the fact that I have finally gotten in touch with an international NGO which would help me achieve this dream. And I believe the knowledge acquired from school and knowing that my climate action project is related to my course of study, which is marine environment and pollution control, I believe that with help of my sponsors, ambassadors, and academic staffs in my school, and knowledge and scientific studies, that this my climate action project can come to reality. Thank you.